everybody, and welcome to the stream. How's the audio? Is everything all right with video, image, and the audio? Yeah, so just a little introduction jam. Oh, listening from the phone chain. Right, so welcome everybody to this little Bitwig Studio 5.3 live stream. Hi Joe, hi Vernita, hi Shane, hi Gertz, Thomas, welcome. C.S. Williams, welcome. Stephen M. Franksen. Andromeda, welcome. Ted. Sundva Butt, hi there. Fabian, you there? Peter Lundholm, welcome. Right, so we're just gonna check out some of the new features in Bitwig 5.3 today, and as I said here in the title, we're also going to do a little bit of a giveaway. So I have 3 times the new Ember synth, which you saw here in the introduction. So I'll pick 3 names here randomly throughout the stream, which will each of them will get a version, a license to the Ember synth. Yeah, I'm good, thanks. And I also have 1 free course in the giveaway from Mondo Media Education. If you're new to my live streams here or new to my channel, I usually make videos on music production, sound design, often in Logic Pro or Bitwig Studio. And I also make courses. We have music production courses in Bitwig Studio, Logic Pro. We also have ambient music courses. And now also more recently a music theory course. I'm going to show you them here briefly so you know what I'm talking about. So we have this selection of courses, and the winner can obviously just go here to edu.mondomedia.com/products and select a course of choice, and let me know via email which of the courses you want to enroll and get for free. At the moment, I'm also running the Black Week discount, so you can see all the courses are at 50%. So if any of you are interested in joining any of my courses, just head over here to edu.mondomedia.com and let's get going. Right. So first thing first, we're gonna check out some of the new stuff here in Bitwig 5.3. And it's currently in beta. That means that any of you that have an active license of Bitwig Studio can actually go to your account, log into your account at bitwig.com and download this beta and try it out for yourself. Though I do recommend that you, before you install, that you rename your current installation of a Bitwig, maybe to a Bitwig 5.2 or 5.2.7, depending on what kind of version you have currently installed. That way you can have that new version installed alongside, so you can, if anything happens, anything crashes, you can always just boot up the older version of Bitwig. Thank you, Sandra. I'm glad you enjoyed your courses. Shane, awesome. I'm very happy to hear so much good feedback on the courses. Really encouraged me to continue and explore new courses. So I did mention to a few people that I am preparing to make a Bitwig the grid course, which will solidly focus on the grid portion, maybe the polygrid and the note grid. So if any of you are interested in that, you can let me know here in the feed. Right, so anyways, the new Bitwig course, the new Bitwig Studio 5.3 focuses on drum sounds. So there's 25 new drum devices. And the Bitwig have had a few drum devices in the past, and I think in this new version they call them V1, like version 1. And in Bitwig 5.3 we get V8, obviously for 808's kind of drums. I hope you can get the audio from the clip here. Seems so. So that's your like 808 kind of drum sounds, and obviously with these modules you can do a lot of like customization and create your own cool drum sounds. So it's basically drum synthesizers that you can work with. And then we also have the V9 family, which is the 909 kits. Yeah, so it's very like a classical sound from classical drum machines. And I mean, these drum machines are pretty old these days, but they are still used all over the place in music. And you also have these digital drums, which is called the V0 family. Let's hear those. Don't want to pour julmust all over the Osmos keyboard. Yeah, so that's another kind of drum sounds, and also in this new version we have a new step sequencer. I mean, you can of course step sequence just in the regular like production areas in either in these clips or in the arrangement view, but a dedicated step sequencer, I know a lot of people have been asking for that because sometimes it can be fun. So first out we're gonna maybe explore this one, the Stepwise. So that's the new step sequencer. And first out, if we don't expand any of these like sub-menus or extra features that you have in the plugin, we can control what kind of notes we want to trigger, and you can also see what kind of rate we have. So we have individual rates for all the different like step tracks. And that can be really nice if you want to do like polyrhythms. Then you can set maybe this one to be it's 16 notes and it's 16 steps. Maybe we can reduce this to just be like 7 steps and do something like this. So you can hear, you can get pretty cool stuff going very fast with the step sequence like this if you just readjust how many steps you have per track here. Then to the right side we also have velocity for each of the steps, or each of the tracks, so to speak, and also a timing offset. So adjusting in real time, and then also the timing. And just to make it a little bit odd there. And then we can also expand the view, and here's where some really interesting things pop up. Here we can actually shift these steps that we have programmed. So for this channel or a C#1 track. We can just shift the steps and move the whole little track sequence a bit. Yeah, so we can yield some really interesting stuff. If you just want to try out different rhythms and stuff, we can just shift all these different tracks. Let's do some fun stuff here with the hi-hat too. Yeah, so really fun little device here, or little. I think it's very powerful. If you're anything into trying out step sequencer, definitely try out the new Stepwise here. As I said, if you have an active account, just it's a no-brainer to just jump into bitwig.com and grab this beta and try it for yourself. So it's important to mention that it's a beta. If something happens here, maybe we get a crash or something. Yeah, if you Shane, if you alt-click, you can make accents. You can see we have an accent here on when we have these like smaller squares in the box, we get an accent. So if I just press regularly with the mouse here, we get a normal step, so to speak, and then with alt, we can make it an accent. So we get a little bit more emphasis and a little bit more punch in those, a little bit more attack in those steps. And yeah, this track is set to 16th notes. Maybe we can increase it to go faster. And the drum kit that we're hearing is the V8, so it's the 808 type of drum kit. And really cool thing here in Bitwig Studio, if you load up one of these, the step sequencer, and then after the step sequencer, since this is generating MIDI data, we need to load up some kind of drum machine or some kind of instrument to get some sounds, because from here we only get MIDI, as I mentioned. So after that we have a drum machine, and within the drum machine we have different slots, and all these different slots contain different instrument devices. But you can also drag samples into these if you're new to the drum machine. Yeah, I'm just checking up on the comments here. I would love an orchestral music course, like your Hans Zimmer videos. Yeah, I've been thinking about doing something like that too. Maybe a course on composing orchestral music. But yeah, I need to do a lot more planning before we go into those domains. But it's really fun to make those kind of really short and tight videos on composing specific small cues. Yeah, so it's getting really powerful here with all these new drum machines, because actually, frankly, these the version 1 drum machines were kind of meh, or yeah, I wasn't using them that much. I was rather loading up like addictive drums or just dragging my own custom samples into drum machines. But yeah, you could yield some good sounds with the kick, with some overdrive and stuff. But I feel that the new machines here has a lot more to offer, because we're often using these 808 or 909 drum samples anyway. The main difference between the workflow in Logic and the Bitwig. Peter Lundholm's question here. Yeah, a main workflow thing is maybe that it's just faster to work in Bitwig Studio in one way, because creating device chains, if you're into like electronic music, it's really versatile and easy to create like sidechain effects and effects between different tracks, and it's very visual to also see all these devices, like you can see here at the bottom of the screen in Bitwig here. We can see we have this step sequencer, and then we can just drag to the right and see our drum machine. Obviously it's the same in live, except that we don't have the same kind of modulation capabilities in live. Well, they have like Max for Live and such, but really in Bitwig it's built from the ground up to be this like modular workstation, if you will. So it's very easy to route signals between different tracks, and you can basically do anything. So the sky is basically the limit, except in, I mean, I really like to work in Logic Pro too, but it's a different workflow. Just it's obviously for creating like film music and stuff, I still rely on Logic Pro, and also for some audio recording work, because you have these like low latency monitoring modes in Logic Pro, and yeah, it's just sleeker for like vocal recording and guitar recording, in my opinion, but it's just my personal opinion. But I always recommend use what works for you, because everybody has different perception on what works for them. Yeah, Fabian, yeah, the grid is really like a vast kaboom of opportunities. Nanook, the big difference between Ableton and Bitwig. Somehow I feel, if I like zoom out and just think about like the general impression I get from Ableton compared to Bitwig Studio, it's that I feel it's more like a robust user interface in Bitwig compared to Ableton. It's maybe it's because I'm old and tired eyes, but it's easier on the eyes, Bitwig, compared to Ableton. Everything is just so small and tiny in Ableton. Yeah, so I'm getting a little carried away here in the questions, but it's always like this in the live streams. But like I mentioned in the introduction, we are doing a giveaway today, or 4 giveaways, 3 times of the Ember synth, which you can hear in the background here. So big thanks to Yam Audio for sponsoring this live stream with some giveaways. And we also have one of my courses in the giveaway. So just keep writing here in the comment section, and I'll pick 4 of you during the live stream as winners. Just randomly pickings. Right, so back to the drum machine here. So yeah, we talked about the Stepwise sequencer briefly. We have also some cool things here to the right side in the sequencer, and that's these dices. So a dice obviously means a random. Nanook, then it's very good. Middle-aged, appropriate comment, yeah. But that's just my, like, every time I see the Ableton DAW, I just feel everything is just so small. And every time I see Bitwig Studio, I instantly think that it's very robust and modern interface and easy on the eyes. Yeah, I know a lot of people have been asking for like scale helpers and scale scale stuff. Personally, I usually don't think that much because obviously I'm schooled in music theory and stuff, but I guess it could be really helpful to have those kind of tools. There are workarounds. I did some video on that you can do like an overlay of another track where you input the notes of a scale. Like maybe we can do this just super quickly here. Just take a polymer. And then if we just create the clip, enter the clip, and then but then you obviously have to create the scale yourself. So say that we create like a minor scale like that. And then we can just mute this track, and then we go into this like Ember synth track where we have this, yeah. I think it's a E minor to C add 9. Yeah. And then we can, if we want to have like a scale helper in the background here, we can just activate this like layered editing, note editing, and go into track view, and then we can activate the polymer track and pin it in the background, and then we can see those notes in the background. But as I mentioned, this is just like a workaround to get the scale in the background of. Yeah, so we can select this one and have it in the background, and then we can enter notes. That's in the scale. But it's just a little workaround. And of course you can use like devices and stuff to help you out. But if you want to work with MIDI data and MIDI notes and have scale helpers that way, this is the way. Right, back to the drum machine. We were looking at this dice. So let's try the dice here on the E1 track. I think I'm gonna mute that one. But we can of course also right click and select clear steps if we want to get rid of the step there. Let's try F1 instead. Yeah, alt click for the accents. And if you ever wonder what kind of sound these are triggering, you can always just look at the note here. Obviously we can change the notes. You can see we have C1, C sharp 1, D1, D sharp 1, E, F, F sharp, and then we have a B. And that's because I changed this from the G to trigger a B instead. Because I wanted to trigger a specific sound in the drum machine. So there we have the C1, C sharp for a snare. But I need to mute the keyboard here. Gonna enter Osmos. So that's this maracas on the B key. Right. So we're triggering this clap with the F key. And then if you want to add some effects to the clap, you can just press the clap there, and there we can see the V8 clap. So let's fiddle with some of these parameters, because as of yet we've just listened to these like raw presets coming from the preloaded preset for the drum kit. And this is, as I mentioned, is the V8, so it's an 808 drum kit. it's fiddling with the stereo, the blur. So that's like how tight the flam is. Yeah, I definitely feel like they had this kind of Oxy 1 kind of thing happening here in Stepwise. So it's really cool. Let's see, so that's some... Yeah, that's a blur effect. So let's add a delay plus. Yeah, so really fun to get some like cool drum sequences happening. Really love this device, and personally I'm really gonna explore this one more. Right, so what should we do next here? Maybe try another kit with the sequencer. This was the V8. Maybe I can just save this preset for later fiddling. Yeah, like that. And if you want to replace the drum machine with some other preset, you can just press the folder very easy and load up something else. Maybe let's take the V9 house kit and play the same sequence. And let's just make this simpler because, yeah, we heard that sequence too many times. So as you can hear, this is more of a 909 kit. Fabian, you have an active license. Just go ahead and download the beta here and try it out. So let's fiddle with the snare, because I think it's a little bit sloppy. Kick. Yeah, it's always fun when you get the hi-hats to be a symbol. It's just hilarious. So we need to find the hi-hat. Yeah, maybe remove Osmos. So that's a D. That's where we have the hi-hats. Maybe just make this. Clap is on the F, the 909 clap. Let's see what we can do with that device. Yeah, Valhalla is always the best. Valhalla Supermassive for anything. I heard they updated Supermassive just the other day with a new mode, I think. Anyone try that one yet? Yeah, play this. New in 4.0. Fast attack, smooth decay, high echo density. So this is the info on the new mode in Valhalla Supermassive. I haven't personally updated yet, but I'll make sure to do that after the live stream. Awesome. Yeah, it's a lot of wonderful modes in Valhalla Supermassive. So those of you here in the live stream who haven't yet got any good delay or reverbs that you really like, go ahead and visit valhalladsp.com and just grab Valhalla Supermassive. It's free, so it's a no-brainer. Yeah, so that's that. Yeah, so the clap. When you introduce the flam, it's like somebody taking a bite, taking a chew. Yeah. Suits the music with a long decay for the clap. Yeah, so really good cymbal here in the 909. To get like more body in the cymbal if we introduced more of the impact. So it's really good and versatile to have this kind of control over the cymbal, especially if you're making like dance music. Yeah, so what's that? That's on the B, so that's the top one here. Let's just put the cymbal on the one step. But we need to reduce the timing here, maybe set it to bar instead. Yeah, so Rob is asking if anyone has updated to the M4 chip on the Mac line as of yet. I'm still on the M1 Max and I'm super satisfied. I mean, the performance is like, it's godly. It's, I mean, it handles everything from rendering and working with 4K videos, streaming with OBS and doing complex tasks. Yeah, Fabian, I really like the new drum machines here. A lot of them sound really good and you have a lot of control if you want to like tune them to your own specific needs and like we're doing here, tuning it to work with the Ember arpeggio that we have in the background. Right, so I'm gonna randomly run a picker here to pick the first winner of the Ember synth in the giveaway. And we have no other than Shane Blight. Congratulations on Ember license. So you can just send me a PM or a comment here with your email where you would like the license to be sent. Yeah, I also felt that when I went from the Intel to the M1 CPU, it's like a super huge difference on battery time, the coolness of the computer. And obviously the performance is like, I never feel that I need to like render or bounce tracks to free up CPU. But then again, as you all probably know, if you follow my channel, I usually don't have like 2,000 tracks in my arrangements. It's often pretty minimal. Yes, that's the Ember synth. Right, so there's also a new feature in a really cool feature here in Bitwig 5.3, and that's this new master recording function in the transport bar. And yeah, another cool feature that you have in Logic Pro is that you can do capture MIDI after, say that you don't activate the record and you play a track and you play like that melody I did there. In Logic you can always press Shift and R and then you get that MIDI magically back here in the arrangement, because Logic always records in the background the things that you do. So you always have a way to like recall the stuff that you played if you forgot to hit record. But here in Bitwig Studio we have a new feature in 5.3 where we can use a master recording here on the toolbar. And just take a look at this. So we're gonna go into this Osmos track, load up a little preset here on this hardware synth. Maybe take another preset. Yes, let's just do something like that. So even if you don't press the record button here, we haven't started any kind of sequence, we haven't started any transport here, we can always just hit record here and record anything that goes into Bitwig. So I'm gonna just play a chord here. And as soon as we deactivate this, you can see a timer here counting for the time that we recorded from the transport bar. So let's just deactivate that. And then we get a little hint here, finished recording. And if we look in the files here, the file browser to the right side, we see magically that Bitwig has recorded this, like a sampling, so to speak. Hi, Steph. Shane won a version of the Ember synth, Ember license. So we have 3 Ember licenses in the giveaway today, and also 1 free course from Morning Media Education. Basically, you can select my Bitwig Masterclass or the Logic course or the new Music Theory course. Yeah, so we have this as a sample, you can see here at the bottom. Maybe you can't see this because I'm in the way in in OBS, but let's just deactivate me for a second here. Like so, and you can see at the lower corner we have this new audio file of the little thing I played. And so that's like a super cool way of just sampling anything that goes into Bitwig here. If you don't want to specifically record with the timeline here for some reason. So now we can just drag this to a track and we get the sampler. So I'm gonna deactivate, let's see here. I need to deactivate the MP here because it's a little bit annoying when we get so much pitch glide all the time. Because I'm not... Yeah. Let's see the original. Oh. Sorry. We had the Osmos activated at the same time. No wonder it turned out to be really strange. Now, since it's in a sampler, we can play it in basically any key, but... But then again, we need to do something else with this. We need to make a multi-sample and create different zones. But I think we're not going to do that. We can also just drag this out in the arrangement, and that way we get this as audio. And just place it like this and maybe chop it up. Seems I'm so used to working in Logic here that I'm like dragging and clicking to make the cuts like that. And let's just fire away some Valhalla Supermassive on that to be and call it the day. So we get this in the same, I think it's a 24-bit file, if I'm not wrong. 24-bit and 48K, since I'm working in 48K here. Yeah, so it's a 24-bit 48 kilohertz file that we get. But depending on, obviously, if you're working in 44.1, you're going to get the 44.1 sample. Yeah, so that's the really cool thing with this new toolbar record function. So we can just record basically anything. And I think we can do stuff like this too. So you can see that on the volume meter there, that's it's recorded. Yeah, so definitely a cool little new function there to be able to record basically anything that goes on. So let's see how this sounds with the arrangement, because the timing is going to be off because I just played. So why did that one turn into... okay, so it analyzes the BPM here and also automatically turned this into... Yeah, I think it activated one of the different audio playback modes, and so it's gonna be like trying to fit this into the arrangement to another tempo, 52 BPM. But we just want to play this raw. So it can be a creative way to also just record, fool around with different ideas and try them in the arrangement like this. Right, so that's the new transport record function. So it's time to pick the second winner here in the giveaway today. So we're giving away 3 Ember synths, 3 Ember synth licenses. We've been giving one to Shane Blythe. Congratulations again. The next one goes to Michael Benson. Congratulations. So you can just send me a PM or write in, in any of the comments or the comment field here, your email, and I will get in touch to you after the episode. Atakan Tat, can you show how to record stepwise sequencer? Do you refer to the new stepwise sequencer here? Well, you don't record into that one, you just enter steps like this with the mouse to create your beats. And if I solo this one, yeah, you can see that we have a beat going on. And you can also see with that white little square where in each track the playhead is. Because as I mentioned earlier here in the episode, you can have different rates for each of the tracks. So they can go different in different speeds. And you can also have different lengths like we did here with the C#1. We set it to only 7 steps. And that way you can create the polyrhythms very easily. So I highly recommend that you go back here in the video if you want to see more on how we worked with the stepwise sequencer. Yeah, it definitely can be used for synths too. This is only like a step sequencer that generates MIDI. So anything that you place after this one will be played by the sequence. So we can just we can create a new track and load up the stepwise. So you find this new device in the note effect devices because, as I mentioned, it only works and generates MIDI data. So you select the stepwise sequencer. Again, find it in the note effects in Bitwig Studio. You want it bigger, the stepwise window. Yeah, we can do a little thing here in OBS and maybe zoom into that. I think we need to do this because something like that. Yeah, hope that's okay. Is that a better overview? Let's see here. Well, at least we get a larger overview now of the stepwise. But apparently, I don't think it has like a zoomed view like some of the other devices in Bitwig. Not at the current state. It doesn't seem to be able to have that kind of zoom. Let's see if we can find something here in the help menu maybe. So I'm all new to these new devices too, so. Yeah, maybe it's not something to. Yeah, it's a little bit small. So we're gonna try it with some kind of synth. And if you were using like the polygrid, you can obviously make use of the different notes, because if you just place a synth after this one, say that we place a polymer after this one, everything that's being played there will obviously be triggering the polysynth. But we can, of course, yeah. But if you're working in the something like the polygrid, you can of course use different notes and send the different notes to different synths and whatever. Yeah, so as I mentioned, everything will go through the same synth if you do it like this. But if you want to send it to different synths, you can either do like add a drum machine like we did earlier, which is the obvious use case of the Stepwise, or you can add like the polygrid. And then add a different pitch note in, or pitch, and then send these to different devices within the polygrid. So that's a few different use cases of Stepwise. Yeah, it's quite a difference coming from GarageBand to Bitwig. So how do you like it so far, Rob? Fabian, does Stepwise only work with locked notes, or you can also set values like 157, use live inputs? I have no idea if that's possible. Use global groove. Yeah, so you can at least attach global groove to this if you want to have like shuffles and stuff. Great. Yeah, it's awesome that you're in the course, because if you're coming from GarageBand, it's a totally different universe to work in Bitwig. A lot of more deep features to explore. Right, so for the final, the third giveaway here in the live stream of the Ember synth, I'm gonna randomly pick a winner. So the third Ember license goes to Andromeda X8. Congratulations on your Ember synth. So you can either give me your email here directly in the chat, or preferably send a PM. Tim Ferret, Ableton looks crap. I actually worked in Ableton for quite a while too. I've been all through all these DAWs, Cubase, Pro Tools, you name it. Studio One. Right, and for the final giveaway is a free course from Monitor Media Education. So you can either select my Bitwig Masterclass or the Logic Pro for beginners course, or maybe the new music theory course or the arranging course, or any of the ambient courses. So randomly picking another winner. Stephen M. Franksen. Congratulations on the course. So you can randomly pick a course from my collection at edu.monitormedia.com. Right, so did we miss anything here today in the live stream? We'll be checking out the Stepwise. We had a look at some of the new drum modules. Yeah, so it's really cool to just change the step length there, or the length of the different tracks, because yeah, really love polyrhythms. Yeah, congratulations to all the winners here today. I hope you will enjoy the new the Ember synth. I think it's really cool plugin. It might not look like much on like the interface. You don't have like super many points of modulation, so to speak, and stuff, but you have all these different circuits, wear and stability, which can make the sound really really, really yummy, so to speak, or organic, if you will. So it's really good for those types of like old school synthwave sounds. Like this pad. All that organic grit. Thank you, Rob. Thanks for the super thanks. As always, don't forget to leave a like on this live stream and also on my videos when you watch my videos. Everything helps. All engagements helps my channel to thrive and will help me continue to make this kind of live streams. Help me continue to make this kind of giveaways to help you out with your music production and sound design adventures, because that's why I'm here, basically. Right, so Steph has a question here. Is Bitwig more genre related, or is it open as Logic or Cubase? I wouldn't say that any of the music production, the DAWs are specific to a certain genre. Though if you are working in something like, let's see here if we can get a little larger overview. If you are working on like film scoring and like media scoring in general, I don't think you would select to work in Bitwig Studio, because obviously it doesn't have video support. I've been asking for video support for ages, and hopefully someday it will eventually come to the platform. But as of yet, we don't have built-in video support in Bitwig. That said, it works really great, like you can see here, for like general electronic music production and dance music and experimental music, hybrid music. It's okay for recording audio and everything like that, but if you are like multi-tracking drums, maybe I wouldn't select to work in Bitwig Studio, because if you are recording like a drum kit with like 16 channels of drums, you probably want to be able to edit like toms and stuff simultaneously. And with that I mean like cutting the toms at exact same places with like one cutting tool. And obviously Pro Tools, Logic, Cubase and some of these other DAWs have better support for this type of editing, audio editing. And obviously also in Studio One. I'm sorry for forgetting some DAWs here, but yeah, you get the point here. But I mean, obviously you can of course compose some film music stuff in Bitwig, as long as you know like the timings and stuff and how long a cue is going to be. I've been doing that personally on some occasions, if I felt that just like I get more inspiration out of working in Bitwig. So it really depends on what kind of project you have at hand or what you want to do. But what I can say is that Bitwig Studio here is extremely addictive, so to speak. It's very versatile. And sometimes in like Logic Pro or especially FL Studio, if you want to do certain routings, you always have to like overthink it a little bit compared to Bitwig Studio here, because it's just super easy to do things like making groupings, routing groupings to different channels, routing channels between different channels. So as I mentioned earlier, it's just like a modular DLW, and it also has a very great MPE support, because MPE might not work out of the box the same way that you have here in Bitwig Studio. Yeah, so just shoot any type of questions. If you have any questions on Bitwig or Logic or any other kind of DAW or plugin. So what new instruments do you prefer in 2024 when it comes to plugins? Do you have any favorites? Any new favorites? The pedal here on my desk is the Tonex from IK Multimedia. And it's obviously a guitar pedal. And previously it's so it's like emulating different guitar amps, but with like AI or machine modeling. And I actually prefer the Tonex here if you compare it to something like the Universal Audio kind of pedals, because I also have the UA Dream 65, which is apparently, I think it's emulating a Fender amplifier, a Fender reverb amplifier, but I actually feel that you get a lot more like a real response from the guitar playing through the Tonex. And I did two videos here previously on the Tonex, so if you want to learn more about this pedal, you can just check one of the more recent videos I did on the channel. And they released an update called 1.8, where they added a lot new effects here to the pedal. So we get like delays and mod effects. Cyclops. Ah, okay. Shane, have you found editing sounds on the Osmos? It's very complicated in software editor. Well, I did open the Haken editor for the Osmos synth on some occasions, but I feel it's like kind of like too much rocket science to dwell into sound design on that software. I rather just make patches on other softwares like Vital and Vital, Serum, Zebra, Omnisphere. So I haven't dwelled too much into the editor, the Haken editor. Did you try it yourself? But I do feel that, I mean, some people say that the sounds of the Osmos sounds like rubbish, but I feel that's a little bit harsh. It all depends on. Yes, I need to go back to another mode. Let's go back to the MP mode. So it's all depends on what kind of sounds you're after. But obviously it's all about the keys for me, and so the bendings are funny, but you can always turn it off if you don't want to play with the weird bends. Yeah, so what's the song? Some questions here. Nice stream here. Informative recording, producing stuff. Top community as well. Yeah, I'm happy that you like this stream, Steph. Have you tried hooking up synth to Bitwig using the new auto config? No, I haven't. Oh, there are some other new stuff here that I forgot to mention that I noticed as soon as I booted 5.3 here. And that is, if you go into the dashboard and settings, you have some new, if you look at the selected devices here in the audio system, we can actually see for all these different, for all these different audio interfaces, if you will, we can see the amount of inputs and outputs in grayish here to the side. And you also have this little icon. I don't think that you had that in the previous version of Bitwig. And it says Mac OS audio instead of core audio. I think that's also a change here. And obviously if we look at the inputs and outputs here, we can see it's a new kind of design where we can add like favorize different channels. And also select if this output is a headphones or if it's a speaker output. So it might be handy to like name these different channels, which I think is a great feature here in Bitwig, because as you can see, I named some of these Summit input, and that's for obviously the Summit synth going into an audio interface here called the AudioFuse 8 Maybe you can't see it because I have so much julmust in the way. But I have an AudioFuse 8 to the side here, where some of these additional synths are connected. So it's really good if you want to figure out an input later on when you're recording. You can just select it, and we see here Unisynth Pro for another track, and also for the outputs here. So if we go and add a new track, add a new audio track like this, and when we select the inputs, you can actually read the names here because some DAWs like Logic Pro, it's a little bit harder because you can't see the audio input level. Here we can see the metering. So if I play something, we can see 1314 is the Osmos at the moment. I haven't really named these channels because sometimes I have them hooked to the Tonex and sometimes to something else, but maybe for now we can just name this Osmos Expressive E. And that and that way, if we go to the audio channel and want to select the track, we can instantly see it's going to be this track. So yeah, it's a lot faster, like I mentioned earlier. Streamlined and modern Bitwig Studio. So you can just select this one and easily know that it's going to be the correct inputs. Let's add some Supermassive to that. And obviously I had the wrong camera. Congratulations. So I need to re-show that to you. Sorry. But anyway, if you go into the dashboard like this, press settings, we can see the devices and the inputs outputs. And if you go down here to inputs outputs, you can see all the different channels and the names of the different channels. And as I mentioned, I have named the inputs here to Osmos Expressive E. And that way it will be super easy when we load up a track here in Bitwig and we want to select the inputs for the track. We can instantly see audio inputs, and for that device we also see the names of each of the individual inputs. And that's 1314. I don't know why the name didn't show up there. Maybe it's some kind of bug, or I accidentally deleted it. Maybe I pressed the delete sign there, but let's try the favorize there. And when we select the inputs, so that's a new thing too. If we favorize them, we get them instantly here. We don't have to go into the the whole list, so to speak, and select the inputs. We can just find it there. So also a quick little feature to instantly find the inputs. Any sound that gets that like a pipe, Julian pipe kind of vibe is instantly a goner. Yeah, now we're in better territories. Record that. Right, so as you can see from the sounds here that I played, some sounds are obviously going to be not so useful, and then other sounds going to be more inspiring and more useful, like this patch I found here on the Osmos called Astral Titans. Yeah, so that's a little bit about the new features that I found so far, and that I read about so far from Bitwig Studio 5.3. And I think we're gonna close down here for tonight. Congratulations again to all the winners in the giveaway. Hope you're gonna have a blast with the plugins. As always, if you're new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe here, and so you don't miss out on coming videos and coming live streams like this, because we often do giveaways, and some of these plugins might be quite expensive at times. And if you haven't checked out my courses, if you want to learn more about Bitwig Studio and really get in depth in the details and really learn it from scratch, I highly recommend that you check out my Bitwig Studio Masterclass. And for those of you who are a little bit more accustomed to Bitwig, you can check out my Bitwig Ambient Mastery course. Yeah, so that's all for today. Hope you had a nice time, and I'll see you in the next video. Always fun to jam a little bit with the devices here. Steph has a question before we quit here. It's your first time. Welcome for the first time. Hope you had a nice time. Glad you like this stream, and you were asking if I do this only on Saturdays, but it's not always on Saturdays. Sometimes it's on Wednesdays or Thursdays, but it's not regularly. I've tried to make it more regular, but it's impossible with my current situation. Right, again, thanks for joining today, and hope you have a sweet Sunday tomorrow. See you in the next video. Bye. Make sure you go to my website, morningdewmedia.com, and sign up to my newsletter if you want to be notified about coming live streams. And obviously, if you do subscribe to my YouTube channel here, which I obviously do recommend, you're gonna get a notification, if you activate the notifications obviously, when I do a live stream. Yeah, glad you enjoyed the stream. See you in the next one. Bye.